Hi there, it's Sarah of Get Weaving. I need to add a little bit to the video that I did the other day because I found some more fabrics. If I just go through them, um, you'll get some information. Anyhow, this was some trouser fabric. I wove this a little while ago, random stripes. The yarns were very, very fine cottons, like this. So what I did was I wound 3 together. I've got like a ball winder, puts a little bit of twist into them, because in the past I tried threading my rigid heddle with like 3 or 4 threads together, but they weren't twisted. So when I tried to separate the ones in the holes and the ones in the slots, they got in a muddle and wrapped themselves around each other. So I put a tiny bit of twist in them now. And then the weft was a 4-ply cotton, and that's probably going to be to make these trousers again, or something like this. They've got a flat front and an elasticated back, and they're really comfortable. Probably. Then what else have I got? This fabric here, chunky cottons. It's a big old piece of fabric. It's to make a shorter version of this. It's cotton with cotton ribbon for the weft, and I want to make it so it's a bit more like a parka. It'll be 3/4 length with perhaps a drawstring waist, same sort of collar, maybe a zip up the front. These are the yarns that I use, quite a mixture. I get more and more people asking me at the moment, what yarns have I used, where are they from? Loads of these are off eBay. I don't work by using, say, for example, 8/2s or 10/2s. I go by wraps per inch every single time. So these were, I've worked it all out, how many wraps per inch, and then I can see if they're compatible or not. And the other thing I do is check that they stretch roughly the same if they're for the warp. So that was for that piece of fabric. And this here, this one here is a cotton ribbon again, one of these tape yarns, quite thick, very quick to weave. So it weaves up really, really fast. This piece here is for a big white shirt. Sort of random stripes-ish. I'm sorry to admit at the moment I cannot find my notes for this anywhere. So I'll put a photograph on the warp, lots and lots of different fine white cottons. I think probably most of these came from Texair, which I believe is called Airedale yarns these days. And I'd have bought these on cones at a show. And then the weft is 4-ply cream cotton. That's for the whole thing. So yeah, that's to make a big white shirt, quite long, loose, collar, pocket. I might even put buttonholes in this, so I'll do a little bit of a lesson on doing buttonholes. Then last but not least for the moment is this piece of fabric, which I wish you could feel. It's very soft. That's the size I've pinned on. Really, really soft and drapey. So this is for a top. Again, random stripes. So this is one of the warps, a sort of fine boucle. That was definitely on a cone. This one is like a slubby cotton. And then this is just a 4-ply cotton. So they're the warp. And then the weft is this. That's handspun tussar silk. So that's a lovely piece of fabric. That is to make a top. I've been fiddling around doing different puffed sleeves. So this one is going to be fairly simple, but with quite a puffed sleeve. And then from the video the other day, I'm very pleased to say that this fabric is finished and off the loom and washed and dried and measured. It's lovely. I'm very pleased with it. It's cotton warp, silk weft. It came off the loom at 15 inches wide and it's shrunk down to 13.5, and I think I need 12.5. So it's for this design here. I've made a woolly version already. So it has a gathered skirt. So the top, the body runs stripes on this way. The gathered bit at the bottom, they'll run this way. So and just round neck and over the head. So I'm actually going to cut this out in a minute. As usual, I will check that the pattern fits before I cut it. I've got that sorted out, and I lay the pattern pieces on right the way down. I spread everything out on the table, roll the fabric up as I go along to just make sure that I've got everything. I've still got all these little labels that I keep, left front, left back, right back, and so forth. So when I cut the pieces out, I pin those labels on, then I know I haven't made a mistake. I'll be using the iron-on woven interfacing as usual to seal the edges, and the one I use is called Stay Flex. I get it off eBay. Then I overlock the edges, but it's absolutely fine to zigzag them. But don't zigzag them if they don't have any interfacing on, because I find that they stretch. So when this came off the loom, I stitched it on my sewing machine. I've deliberately done a dark colour so you can see it. Whoops, that's not really helpful, is it? It's a zigzag stitch anyway. I've got a photo of this to stop it from unravelling when it's washed. It went in the washing machine on a woolly wash, 20 degrees, 800 RPM spin. That's quite soft. I spoke to a lady in a curtain shop once, and she said fabrics often shrink, not because of the temperature, but because they've been spun too high, too fast. So it literally scrunches everything together. So I tend to do much gentler spin now on my hand wovens, and it's shrunk now. I don't think it'll shrink again, but I'll probably wash it cold next time in the washing machine, cold wool wash, dry it on the line. I haven't pressed it yet. I don't want it to change too much. I'll see how I feel when I'm sort of cutting it out. So, sort of up to date. Today I'm wearing this. Lovely, isn't it? That's my neighbour's son. He looks great, doesn't he? I had these things to be modelled, and I said, could you help? And he went, oh, yeah, I'll wear the dress. That's absolutely fine. Very comfortable. It's cotton and linen. And, oh, let's have a little look. You see organic cotton and linen warp, 7.5 DPI, a linen boucle, and cotton slub weft, which is probably this one. So, yeah, whatever was left. And then round the neck here, there's a bit of a trim. What I did was got some of that boucle and just sort of zigzag stitched over it. Very comfortable anyway. So, up to date, feeling much better. After I did that last video, I did feel silly. I thought, why have I dithered around? Just get on with it. So I'm going to cut this dress out shortly and wear it for the weekend. Anyway, have a good day. Bye now.